Hello everyone, welcome to Polyset Ritual classes. Today we are going to discuss about polynomials. Let us see what is polynomial. Polynomials are algebraic expression that consists of variables and coefficient. So they said here very clearly polynomials are what? It's an algebraic expression. Okay, let us try to understand what is algebraic expression. You can see the table on the screen, right? So let us read what is there on the table. Column A. Column A says that number of eggs in a dozen, number of minutes in an hour, length of a meter. In column B, they have given number of persons heartbeat per minute, number of enrollees in your school each year, electric bill per month. Okay, let us read the question what they asked from this table. What is common in column A and column B? Yes, what you are thinking is absolutely right. In column A and column B, the common thing is, what do we got a common thing? As number, right? So what is a common thing over here? It is a number, right? So what is the second question they are speaking about? What makes this two group different? Yes, we are saying both the things are number, then how come it is different? Okay, let us try to read it again and try to understand what they are asking over here. So, number of eggs in a dozen, number of minutes in an hour, length of a meter. Same way, in column B, number of persons heartbeat per minute, number of enrollees in your school each year, electric bill per month. So, obviously, yes, what you are thinking is right. The numbers in the column A are what? It's a fixed numbers, right? But in the column B, what's happening? So if I'm seeing that electric bill paid, so are we going to pay everyone as the same electricity bill? Obviously not. How much you are consuming the electricity, that much you will pay the electricity bill. Right? So what's happening over here? It's a changing value. What's happening over here? It's a changing value. Yes. Algebraic expression is helping us to find out the changing values or read about the changing values, right? Changing values as well as fixed values. So let us see how the algebraic expression, what is the definition for exact definition for the algebraic expression? Algebraic expression is any combination. What it is? It is a combination of one or more constants and variables. But it should have what? At least along with one mathematical operator. So what is it is a combination of? It is a combination of constant and variables. Okay. So then it should be consist of one or more term. Separated by what? Either plus or minus. Okay, the terms will be separated by what? Plus or minus. Okay, so what does mean by constant? They said it's a combination. Algebraic expression is nothing but it's a combination of what? Constant and variables, right? So let us see what are constant, right? So first let us know what are terms. Term is nothing but is a constant variable or a product of two separated by plus or minus. What is term? It's a constant or a variable or a product of two separated by plus or minus sign, right? So let us see first of all what is constant, because in terms also they said it is a constant. In algebraic expression also they are saying that one or more variables are constant, right? So let us try to understand what is constant. Constant is nothing but, as we have seen in the example, right? Number of eggs in a dozen. So it's fixed, right? So it will be 12. The number of hours in number of minutes in an hour. So it is a fixed. We can't change it, right? So whatever the fixed thing, we are speaking about the fixed number. So that is called what? Constant. Okay. Usually we'll say all the numbers, it will come under what? Constant. So which cannot be changed. It's a fixed value, that is called constant. So let us see what is variable over here, right? Variable means as what we have seen in the previous example, as you people are very clear, right? What we have seen, electricity bill is a good example. So how much I am consuming the electricity, that much I'll pay the bill, right? So it is changing value, right? It will change person to person. It will change home to home, right? It won't be fixed one. So to read about the changing values, what you will do, what is that is called? The changing value is called what? Variable. Usually in algebraic expression, the variables are represented by what? It can be any letter. Right? Usually what we will do, we'll use any alphabetical letter like A, B, C, like that, anything, right? So that you will say it as what? Variables. So constant is what? It's a fixed value. What is variable? Variables are the changing value. Usually the variables will be represented in the form of alphabets, either A, B, C, like that, A, B, C or M, N, whatever it may be. We will take it as any alphabet. Right? So what is term now? Term is nothing but what they said very clearly. It may be a constant, variable or product of two separated by plus or minus. Right? So what is the product of two separated by plus or minus? What is the meaning? Now you know what is constant, right? Constant is nothing but what? Now any number. 3, 4, 5, 6, anything you can. What do you know about variable? As I said you, variable is nothing but changing value. What you will take it? Either A, B, C or X, Y, Z, whatever you want to take it, you can take it. But what is the product of 2? Product of 2 means what? It can be like this. So as you people know, 3x. Right? So what is term? I can say x also a term, 3 also a term. Product means if I multiply this, what is the answer? I'll get it, 3x. So always the product of term, it's a one term. Okay. You will read this as 3x is nothing but what? What is the operator in between? 3 into x. Okay. So if this term is separated by plus or minus, then that will consider as what? Term. Okay. So 3x plus 2. This what you will say? It is a algebraic expression. Okay, if I separated the term by either plus or minus, then what you will get it? You will get algebraic expression. Hope you understood what is algebraic expression, right? So it's a combination of what? Constant, variables, right? It's separated by plus or, the term is separated by plus or minus. Term is nothing but what? It's a constant, variable or product of both, right? Constant and variable. Now we are going to see an important concept. What is there in for? It is very important for your PolySet entrance exam. Sometimes they might ask you by giving a polynomial or a polynomial, they will ask you that what is a coefficient of this some particular variable, right? Okay, so here we will see what is the coefficient. Coefficient is nothing but it's a coefficient is nothing but it's having two types, right? One is numeral coefficient, another one is what? Literal coefficient, right? What is numeral coefficient? What is that? You can see this is what actually it's a. So what we are having over here, it's 2x, right? So what is 2x over here? So this is, as you people know, it is what? Variable, right? Literal coefficient. What are the variable you are getting? You will say it as what? Literal coefficient. What are the numbers you are getting over here in the term? You will say it as a numerical coefficient, right? So here, if I'm considering, so if I'm asking you that what is the coefficient of m? So what is the rest of the things are there with m? 5 and n. So it's nothing but the coefficient of m is 5n. Okay, is it clear? So whatever, what is the coefficient of 10 now here? So you can take it that as st squared, right? So you are having coefficient as what are the things? Numeral coefficient and literal coefficient. Okay, now we are going to see about what are like terms. What are like terms? As you people hear the name itself, like. What does mean by like? Yes, obviously. Yeah, right. Like is nothing but similar, right? Same you can say. So, in algebraic expression also, like terms are defined as a term that contains what? Same variable. What it should contain? It should contain same variable which raised to the same power. For example, if I'm taking only the numerical coefficient can vary. If I'm saying that 8x squared and 3x squared, is it same? Is it a like term? Obviously, yes. Why means, could you see that variable part, right? X squared and x squared, it is same. So, it is called like term. Then, if I'm taking like this, right? X squared, then x cube. So, is it a like term? Obviously not. Why? Because the variables are same, but could you see the power? Is it same? No, obviously no. So it is not a like term, right? Then what is the use of like term over here in algebra? Yes, like fractions in algebra also you can do only in algebraic expression, you can add or subtract when it is a like term. Okay, you can add or subtract only the like terms in algebraic expression. If it is not a like term, obviously as you people know, what is that is called? Unlike term. Algebraic terms which does not have a same literal coefficient and cannot be raised to the same power are called what? Unlike terms. Okay, if the variable is same and it raised to the same power, then it is called what? Like term. You will decide the like term based upon the variables and its powers. So the coefficient of the numeral coefficient of the variable might differ. Here you can see some of the example for the like and unlike terms. Okay, so what is like terms? You can see, right? X and X and W and W, right? So variables are same, but you can see the numeral coefficient or what? It is different. So it is a like term. Then unlike term is what? Could you see? It is having a variable as different. Here W square is there. Obviously you know what is the difference between W and W square, right? So R and yes, A squared, A cube, Y. Here we don't have a variable at all. So it is an example for unlike term. So you have to remember, what you have to remember from this, like terms are nothing but when it is the term is having, when the terms are having the same variable, it raised to the same power, then what you will say? It is, you will say it as a like term. In algebraic expression, you can add or subtract only like term. If it is an unlike term, you can't add or subtract. Is it clear? Right. Next, we are going to see a important thing, what is called degree. Okay, so in your Polyset entrance exam, as I said you, they can give you the polynomial and they can ask you what is degree. Okay, what is degree? We spoke about raised to some power, right? In the previous topic only, we have seen what is a power, right? So when I'm getting a polynomial, you can see this example over here. What is that? Minus 8x power 5 plus 3x power 4 minus 12x x power 6 plus 5x squared minus 12x power 0. X power 0 is nothing but anything power 0. Whatever we are taking, anything power 0 will be what? It equal to 1 only. Okay. So, whenever we are getting the highest power of the variable, what is that? Highest power of the variable, you will say it as what? Degree. What is the highest power of this variable now? The highest power, I can see, right? It's x power 5, 4, 6, 2, 1. So, what is highest power? Highest power is what? 6. So, what is the degree? Degree is 6, right? So it is a number. You will write it as a number. You can't write it as x power 6. You have to write the number. What is the power you are getting it? You have to write it as a degree. The highest power or exponent of the variable, you will say it as what? Degree, right? So what is mean by here? What is its leading coefficient? What is mean by leading coefficient? So they can ask you, what is a leading coefficient of, like that, right? So when we are getting it, what is meant by leading coefficient? Leading coefficient is nothing but the number in front of the variable with the highest power. So could you see here, right? What is highest power over here? X power 6 is the highest power. So this number, what is this number? The coefficient of the highest power variable, you will say it as what? Leading coefficient. Okay, here you can see what is the coefficient of x power 4? It's nothing but 3, right? So we learned this in the previous slides only. What is the coefficient over here, right? So what is a leading coefficient? They can ask you the leading coefficient of, they can give you like x cube plus 4x squared plus 3. So you will write x cube. What is the leading coefficient? X cube is the highest power. You will take a 1 as a leading coefficient. Okay, if no coefficient is mentioned over before. So see, for example, if I'm writing 4x squared, right? X cube plus 4x squared plus 2. So what is the leading coefficient over here? So as you people know, what is the highest power? X cube is the highest power. So what is the coefficient of x cube? It's nothing but if no coefficient is mentioned over there, you will consider as 1. That is, it's not like there is no coefficient. Always they will have a 1 as a coefficient. So here, what is the coefficient of leading coefficient here? 1 is a leading coefficient. Right? Next, we are going to see, I hope so now very clear about what are the basic terminologies you have to be aware of. Degree is nothing but, what is degree? Degree is nothing but highest power of the variable. Right? What is a leading coefficient? Leading coefficient is nothing but the coefficient of the highest power of the variable. Whatever you are having with the highest power with the variable, you are having a coefficient, right? That number you will say it as a leading coefficient. Okay, now let us see what is polynomial. In the starting itself, we have seen what is a polynomial. Polynomial is an algebraic expression, right? So obviously, what do you people know? Algebraic expression is nothing but what? It's a term. Term is nothing but it's a combination of constant and variable, right? These are the things what we learned previously. So, what is polynomial now? See, 5x squared plus 2y minus 7. Right? It's a algebraic expression only. So, you can see this is as an exponent. This you will say it as what? Variable. X and y are the variable. Then this is a constant number, fixed number which cannot change. Right? This is called coefficient. 5 and 2 are the coefficient and plus and minus are the operator, right? So now how you will write this standard form? They'll ask you what is a standard form. How will you write it? The standard form of an polynomial. Actually, how you will write it? Standard form. Whenever you want to write a standard form, if they have given some polynomial to you, and how will you write the standard form for that? First of all, what you have to do? Follow the steps to write it in the standard form. First, arrange the terms so that the terms with the highest exponent goes first. What you will do? See, you can see in the example, right? So what we are doing at, what is the first highest power? It is 3, right? So what is the thing I'm doing? First, I have to arrange the term in such a manner. Power should be in the descending order. So x cube, then x squared, then x power 1. Right? So always the last term will be what? Constant. For example, if they have given you like this, right? Write the standard form for this. So what you will do now over here? 3x squared plus 6x power 6 plus 7. So how will you write it in the standard form? So what you will do over here? First 6x power 6 as per the thing. What do you know? Highest power to least power we have to do. So x power 6 power 6. So 6x power 6 plus 3x squared plus 7. Right? Now it is in standard form. Always you will write the standard form in the way of in the form of descending order. Highest power to lowest and last you will get a constant term. Right? Next we are going to see types of polynomial. What is mean by types of polynomial? Yes, we learned about terms, right? Already we learned about terms. What is term and all, everything we know it now. Now we are going to see two terminologies we learned in the polynomials previously. What are that? One is terms, another one is what? Degree. Right? Another one is degree. So based upon this, we are having a different types of polynomial. Based upon this, what? Different types of polynomial we are having. What is degree we learned? Degree is nothing but highest power of the variable. We will say it as what? Degree. Right? Terms is nothing but it may be a variable or constant or the product of C. Right? Product of 2. So if only one term is there, you will say that as what? Monomial. If only one term is there, what you will say? It is monomial. Means like 6, x cube, 4x squared, a squared, b squared. Like that, only one term. If it is two terms are there, when you will say it is algebraic expression, when it is separated by either plus or minus, then you will say it as what? Two term. Whenever you are having two term like this, right? 6x plus 2 or ab power 4 minus 5y plus 2, then you can say 3x plus 2, so many things, right? Only two terms, term 1 and term 2. Right? If you are having two term, that is called binomials. If you are having three term, then that is called what? Trinomials. If you are having more than three, many terms, then you will say it as what? Polynomials. Then you will say it as what? Polynomials. If only one term, then it is what? Monomial. Two term, then it is binomial. Three term, then it is trinomial. More than many term are there, then you will say that as a polynomial. Okay, this is a types how we have divided based upon our terms, right? Now we are going to see what are the types of a polynomial based upon degree. Degree, as you people know, what is that? It's the highest power of the variable, right? When the degree is 0, what is that is called? Constant polynomial. Means in that case, you will have what? Only constant numbers. We won't get any variables over there, right? When we are going to linear polynomial, that is called, what is the degree? 1. So you can see over here, what is a variable present over here? X plus 8. So what is a variable? What is the degree of the variable? 1, right? So here also you can see. So that is called what polynomial? Linear polynomial. Okay, when you will say that as a 2, degree is 2. So could you see over here, 3x squared minus 2x plus 7. Right? So here what is the degree of x? Highest degree is what? What is the highest power? Is 2. So degree is what? 2. Then what you will say that is called quadratic polynomial. When it is a quadratic polynomial, the degree will be how much? 2. Right? Then if the degree is 3, if the degree, could you see? It's a x cube. So what is the degree? It's a y cube. So what is the degree over here? Highest power is 3. Right? So what is the degree? It's a 3. So when the degree is 3, that is called cubic poly. This 0 of the polynomial. What is 0 of the polynomial? 0 of the polynomial means, yes, by name itself indicates. What is the value of your polynomial should be? P of x is equal to 0. P of x is equal to what? It should be equal to 0. Right? So P of x is nothing but whatever the polynomial given to you. It is 0. So what they will ask you to find out the value for x or y, whatever they have given as a polynomial for you, and they will say that if it is a 0 polynomial, find the value of x. As you are seeing in the example over here, 2x minus 4 equal to 0. So what is 2x here? 2x is equal to plus 4 will go to that side, then it will turn as minus 4 will go to that side and it will turn as plus 4, right? So what is x then? X is nothing but 4 by 2. So x is equal to 2. Like this, you will get a problem to solve for x. If they have given you 0 of the polynomial, so what is the condition you have to consider? P of x, whatever the polynomial they have given, that is equal to what? 0. That is called 0 of the polynomial. Right? Now we are going to see about polynomial function. What is this polynomial function? As we learnt what is degree, right? Degree can be 1, degree can be 2, degree can be 3, like that, right? So what you will get it, when the degree is 1, what type of function it is? It is called what function? Linear function. Then how your graphical representation will be? Whenever it is a linear function, always remember you will get your graph as straight line. How will you get your graph? Like this. You will get a graph as straight line like this. Okay, so it is called straight line graph. Linear function, you will get graph as straight line. If the degree is 2, as you people know, what is the name of the degree is 2? What is the name of the polynomial? It will be quadratic. If it is quadratic, then you will get the graph as parabola, like U shape. You will get like a U shape. This is called parabola, right? You will get it as parabola. If it is a linear function, the graph will be, the graphical representation will be the straight line. If it is a quadratic function, the graphical representation will be parabola, right? Next, we are going to see about what is linear polynomial. As you people know, linear polynomial is nothing but what? It's going to be polynomial of degree 1. It's called what? Linear polynomial. You can see some example over here. 2x minus 3. And root 3x plus 5. You can see, right? What is the power of this x over here? 1. Right? So it is linear polynomial. Highest power is 1. The degree is 1. Then you will say that as what? Linear polynomial. The general form of linear polynomial is nothing but ax plus b. Ax plus b. right? So they can give you like that, and they can ask you what is the value of x. So how will you find out? Ax plus b is equal to 0, right? Equal to 0. So x is nothing but what? X is equal to minus b by a. So this is the root or factor for this polynomial. If I want to find out the value of x, what I can do? If suppose they have given the problem, right? 5x plus 3, right? Find the value of the x. So how you can do it over here? 5x plus 3. So it's a linear, right? The degree is 1. So what is the value for this? X is equal to minus b by a. So what is the place in the place of b? What you are having? 3, right? 3 by 5. Right? This is called linear. They can ask you the standard form of the linear polynomial. It's nothing but what? Ax plus b. Right? That is a linear polynomial. Then we are going to see about quadratic. What we are going to see about quadratic? As you people know, quadratic means what is a degree must be 2. Right? What is a degree must be 2. So what is a quadratic polynomial over here? How will get it the quadratic polynomial? P of x is nothing but ax squared plus bx plus c. Right? This is your quadratic polynomial, right? So we are going to see zeros of the polynomial, right? Relationship between the zeros and the coefficient of a polynomial. How the zeros, how I can get the zeros of the polynomial? By using the coefficient. This is called coefficient, right? X squared coefficient, this is x coefficient, and this is constant. So by giving this, how I can find the relationship and how I can form a polynomial. Right? Now we are going to see the quadratic polynomial. What is the relationship and how I can frame a quadratic polynomial if the sum of the roots or product of the roots are given. Right? So here what we are going to do, alpha and beta we are considering are the zeros of the polynomial. Then what will be the root? If it is a zeros of the polynomial, obviously that alpha and beta are what? It is going to be the either roots or factor of the polynomial, right? For example, if they have given the thing, right, alpha as 2, right, and beta as 3. So what you will consider, what is the thing you will get it? Sum of the root is what? Alpha plus beta, right? Alpha plus beta, it's nothing but 2 plus 3. It's 5. Okay. Then what is alpha into beta? Alpha into beta is nothing but 2 into 3. It's what? It will be equal to 6. Right. But how I can form an equation, polynomial with this? How I can form a polynomial with this? How I can form it as p of x is nothing but, what is p of x? X squared minus sum of zeros. What is sum of zeros over here? It's nothing but 5, right? Minus 5x plus, what is product of 0? It will be 6. Product of zeros is what? 6. So if they have given you the root, if they're asking you to find out the polynomial based upon the given root, you can do first step. What you will do? You will find out the sum of the root. The second step, you will find out the product of the root. Then what is the general form? You will use it. P of x is nothing but what? X squared minus sum of the root of x plus product of zeros. Right? If suppose they have given you the equation, they have given you the polynomial, and they are asking you to find the sum of the root and finding the relationship between this. So how you can verify the relationship? What is the formula for sum of the roots? Here, see, they have given here very clearly alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta is what? Minus b by a. What is b? The coefficient of x. Right? And what is a? The coefficient of x squared. So what will be the sum of the roots over here? Minus b by a. Right? So it is nothing but, as we are seeing this, see, this is our polynomial, what we got it. Let me check it how we are getting the formula, right? So here, minus b, what is minus b over here? Minus of minus 5. So obviously what you will get it? Plus 5, right? plus 5 by 1 is nothing but 5. Same way, product of root. What is product of root? They said C by A, right? What is that? Some formula is C by A. It's nothing but what is C over here? 6. So 6 by 1 is nothing but 6. So are we getting the same answer over here? When I'm adding and multiplying, right? Even though if I'm applying the formula and I'm getting the same thing. So like that you can verify your relationship based upon this given data. Next, we are going to see about, as we know, right, sum of the zeros in the quadratic polynomial. They can ask you actually this question as a 1 mark question. What is the formula for sum of the zeros? Alpha plus beta is nothing but minus b by a. You have to remember minus b by a. If they have given the equation for you, by seeing that you can write sum of the zeros. Sum of the zeros is minus b by a. Coefficient of x, negative coefficient of x and coefficient of x squared. Product of zeros is what? Alpha into beta. It's nothing but c by a. Right, c by a is nothing but constant term by coefficient of x squared. The same thing we can find it out in cubic polynomial also. So how can I find out the cubic polynomial? As you people know, obviously for quadratic, if we are having 2 roots, cubic you will have 3 roots, right? So cubic is nothing but 3 roots, you will get it. So degree shows how many solution you are having. So if the degree is 1, obviously you will have solution of 1. If the degree is 2, you will have 2 solutions. If the degree is 3, you will have 3 solutions. Okay. So here we are having 3 solutions. What is that? Alpha, beta and gamma. So what we are considering, that is as a zeros of polynomial. Zeros of polynomials is nothing but if I substitute this value, p of x will turn as equal to 0. That is called zeros of polynomial. You will say this as a factors, roots. These are the factors, roots and everything. You can say it either factors or root. Right. So what is the general form for your cubic? As we know how to write a polynomial, cubic means the degree should be what? 3. So what you can do? Ax cube plus bx squared plus cx plus d equal to 0. This is a general format for your standard form. This is what you will say. This is a standard form. This is a quadratic standard form. Ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. You can say that quadratic. This is your cubic polynomial standard form. Okay. Now same way, how we are going to find out? As we know how to form a how to form a cubic polynomial, you need what? Sum of the roots and product of the roots, right? So here we are having sum of the roots as 2 sum of the roots you will have. First, what you will have? Alpha plus beta plus gamma. As we have done in the previous quadratic, what we have done? Alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta, what we got it? Minus b by a. Same way here also what we are getting it? Minus b by a. But here the b is a coefficient of what? X squared. You have to be very clear, right? So here b is a coefficient of what? X squared. So it is minus b by a. So what is that another combination you will get? Another sum of the roots. So alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha. It's nothing but c by a. It's nothing but c by a. So coefficient of x by coefficient of x cube. Then what is a product of the roots? What is a product of the roots? Alpha, beta, gamma is nothing but minus d by a. It's minus constant term by coefficient of x cube. Okay. So based upon this, how they might ask you the problem over here as a 1 mark. They might give you the sum of the 2 roots, right? And they can give you the product of the roots and they can ask you to form a cubic polynomial, or they can give you the cubic polynomial. From that they can say you to find out either sum of the roots or product of the roots, like that they'll ask you to find out, right? So we will see what is the relationship in the this thing, right? So x cube minus first the sum of the root x squared plus what is second? Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha x minus alpha beta gamma, product of the roots. So this is the relationship how you can form a cubic polynomial if the zeros of the polynomial are given, right? So from last, what we are going to do is we'll have a quick recap today whatever we learned it. Okay, so first we learned what we learned today. First we learned what is polynomial, right? Polynomials are what? It's an algebraic expression made up of 1 or more terms of a particular type, right? What is the standard form of a polynomial? As you people know, a is 0, x power n, like that the x power should goes on get decrease. Okay, it should be in the decreasing order. Next, what we have seen, coefficient. What is a coefficient? We learnt about the literal coefficient and numeral coefficient, right? Then we learnt a word of leading coefficient. They can ask you this question. What is the leading coefficient of the polynomial of a 2x cube plus 8x squared plus 2? So what is a leading coefficient? Leading coefficient is nothing but, as you people know, the highest degree. What is the highest degree? What is the highest power over here? Highest power is x cube. Okay, that is the degree of the polynomial, right? So what is the degree of this polynomial? X cube is means 3 is a degree. Okay, so x cube. So what is the coefficient for x cube? 2. So what is the leading coefficient for this polynomial? 2 is the leading coefficient. So what we will do, we'll check for the degree, and that degree, wherever the degree variable is present, that coefficient you will take it as a leading coefficient. Okay, so when I'm saying if the polynomial is 0, obviously what you will say? P of x is nothing but 0. Okay, if I'm saying this is a root of the polynomial, when you will say it is a root, x is equal to alpha. In such case, P of alpha equal to 0. So if I'm saying this value is a root, they can ask you whether it is a root or not. So how will you check it? For example, if they have given P of 2, they are saying check whether it is a root of this polynomial or not. So x squared minus 3. So what can I do? I'll check out. I'll substitute over here. 2 squared minus 3. It's nothing but 4 minus 3, 1. Am I getting 0? No, I'm not getting 0. Obviously, it is not a root. If it is a root, after substituting that value in the polynomial, I'll get answer as what? 0. That will turn as 0 of the polynomial. As you people know, 0 of the polynomial is nothing but, what is that? P of x is equal to 0. Okay, so in such case, you will say that that is a root or that is not a root. So what we learned now? We learned about graph. Right? If it is a linear polynomial, linear polynomial means what? The degree will be 1. Right? The degree will be 1. If the degree is 1, your graph will be what? It's a straight line. Your graph will be what? Straight line. Right? So you will have how many roots? Only one root. If it is a linear, you will have only one root. Then we have seen about quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial is what? It's a degree with 2. Obviously, how many roots will be there for that? And you will have 2 roots. Okay, it's nothing but alpha and beta we used to take it up, and we will find the sum of the zeros and product of the zeros. Right, we will take up in such a manner, and we will get a polynomial also. How to form a polynomial also, you know. Then we learnt about cubic polynomial. What are the roots of the cubic polynomial? Generally, we will consider alpha, beta, gamma. Right? So what is a quadratic polynomial? The zeros of the polynomial and the relationship. How will you get? Linear means it's nothing but the general polynomial form will be ax plus b. X is nothing but minus b by a. Okay, this is a root for the polynomial. If I'm taking with a quadratic polynomial, what is the root? We will take it sum of the zeros. What is the sum of the zeros? The general standard form of quadratic polynomial is P of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. They can ask you the general standard form for cubic polynomial or quadratic or linear polynomial. You have to be aware of the standard form. Standard form of quadratic is nothing but ax squared plus bx plus c. Right? In that, what is the sum of the zeros? We learned minus b by a. Sum of the zero is what? Minus b by a. Product of 0 is c by a. Okay, then we'll go for the cubic polynomial. What we have discussed in the cubic polynomial? Cubic polynomial, the standard form will be what? Ax cube plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Right? So in that, what is sum of the zeros? Minus b by a. What is another sum of the zeros? We got it c by a. Then product of the zeros are minus d by a. Then we learned what is the name of the graph for the linear polynomial. Linear polynomial is nothing but you will get a graph as straight line. If for the quadratic, you will get a parabola. You will get parabola. Hope everyone understood what is polynomial. Thank you for watching.